best. I don't know. It's just more. You have to have, I feel like one of those
Just
same color all the way down is the best if it's black or white.
it's
Outside
just
of that,
crisp,
I'm not
dude.
like I wasn't a fan when the NFL did like the color rush jerseys and they did all red and all purple and like no. Give me
I
all
like
white, give me all black.
there are some jerseys that like is a white top and the team color bottom or something, or an alternate bottom that look pretty clean. But um honestly, the best thing that the NFL ever did was switch to Nike. Man,
Yeah.
their jersey game up
Same with
significantly.
the NBA. Same with the
Hmm.
NBA. I still think anyone that has the Jordan brand jerseys got the coldest. You got the coldest uniform package of
Yeah,
all
I
time.
mean, but you got Oregon, I think Oregon's just all they got that they have to work with their jerseys is nasty. But in the pros, yeah, I think the big game changer was them going to Nike or Jordan.
Do you follow Barstool Sports?
I mean, I see their stuff. I don't think I follow them.
Who do you know the dude with the slick back hair that always talks about college football?
Yeah, what's his? Yeah,
Brendan
Brendan or
Walker. Brendan
whatever his
Walker.
name
There
is.
we
Yeah.
go. He they're doing a thing today. I saw a video today that they're ranking the best color combinations. It's
Mm,
those videos where it says it's that new trend where it's like speak when you see a better color combination than
yeah.
this, or like a better player than this or something like that. But they did
Hmm.
colors, and then they started off with UCLA's golden, like baby bluish, and it said speak when you see a team with a better colors. And they stopped at they had a big argument between LSU and North Carolina
For
because
this is for basketball or for football?
football. Well, he was like, North Carolina has the best uniforms in basketball, best uniforms in football. He's like, that's just the best. That's like the perfect color combination you could ever ask for. I was
I
like,
don't know if they have the
damn right.
cleanest uniform. I think I can't even lie, not even being a North Carolina guy, they do have great color combinations for their school colors, but I feel like they could do better being a Jordan because they're Jordan, right?
It's
I would assume.
yeah. Well, think about like Bama and like all these like kind of top teams. They just kind of keep it like Bama's always kept it simple. It's like a
Yeah.
historic type jersey. Um, you know, that's the same with like basketball when it comes to Duke, North Carolina, Kansas. Those top teams, like the historic teams. They just kind of kept it the same. They never made any like
Yeah.
drastic. There's no like crazy jersey combinations like you'd see with like Oregon or something like someone like that.
Yeah. Well, I think with those ones, especially with the teams that have been those blue bloods for a long time, they want to keep it classic with a lot of those uniforms because
Mm-hmm.
that's what they were when they were popular, and they just make little tweaks to it. But I don't know, I just feel like you can have those classic. I mean, it's North Carolina. They can have five different jersey combinations if they want to, and I don't know how many they have, but get a couple sets with some alternates and some nice little charcoal grays or something like that. I don't know.
Are you talking for football or basketball? All of it.
Both, yeah, I think, and
I would
maybe
love.
it's not.
I loved when they pulled out the blacks for basketball.
Yeah,
Ugh,
those are tough. Yeah.
those are nice. I like when they for the game that they do those in the. Normally it's in the Jordan Classic or whatever.
Hmm.
They'll pull out the blacks. Um, but let's just get what episode. This is episode 49.
Yeah,
It
baby.
is. It is. episode 49. Welcome to People Kitchen Hook Podcast. Get right to it. Everyone, obviously, the big subject is the whole NIL state and how the UNLV quarterback Matthew Sluka pretty much exposed and opened up a huge can of worms, in my opinion, when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
the state of the NIL. I've always said it from the start that it's going to turn into the wild, wild west if it's not policed right, or if there's no rules or regulations and stuff. It's just going to turn into a free for all for everyone, essentially. And you can almost do anything and get away with it. I mean, there's small rules like the pay to play rules, like you can't do that, which I still don't understand the difference between that
Mm-hmm.
and NIL. But I don't know. What's your take on it? I know we texted about it a little bit yesterday. And I know you made some comments. But what's your
Yeah, I
thoughts
think,
initially?
well, just initially, like, I think we talked about this on an episode when NIL first honestly was introduced, and maybe we had been in it for a little bit, and um, things like this, when they're implemented, whether it's a new rule in the gameplay or new rule scholarship or money wise like this, there's always there's always things that will happen that will be the cause of the need for more legislation on this stuff, and like passing rules and regulations and what you can and can't do. The second thing is, I think it's just like you talked about before you hit record. It's a little bit of a combination of lack of oversight on the agent and the player's part of not getting whatever they agreed to in writing. And two, I don't know this for a fact, so don't come at me if this is incorrect. But the fact that an assistant allegedly offered $100,000 to this player and now it's not being paid out, I just feel like that's over the assistant's pay grade. I don't know. Maybe the head coach does give them that freedom to offer NIL money and stuff, but I feel like that would be a head coach thing.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Well, because that coach even said, he's like, it didn't come from me, so it's not true. Like,
Mm,
I get the people's stance that are saying, would you show up to work if you were promised a certain amount of money, but they paid you a different amount of money? No, no one would, obviously.
mm,
But I would make sure that there's a contract stating that that is
mm-hmm,
what I'm supposed to be making. Because from the start, to me, it came off as fishy when it says verbally offered. Verbally offered. Okay.
mm-hmm.
How many kids do you hear are verbally committing somewhere, but then 2 months later, oh hey coach, I'm gonna go actually to
I'm
this place.
reopening my recruitment.
There you go. Right there. Let me just slam the door right back into your guys' face. Because
Yeah.
it's true. You hear that verbally. Okay, can we get that in writing? Can I see that in writing, please? Because if that's the
Mm-hmm.
case, if I can get that in writing and we can sign papers, sign documents, all that stuff to make sure that's the case, I'm here. Sign me up. I'll start. When does practice start? When do I have to move in? When do you want
Yeah.
me to start learning the offense?
Mm-hmm.
But it's the it's the verbal part. Like, to
The
me, that's just like, that's the biggest red flag. That's just being dumb. That's just being, when six figures is on the line, pen and
yeah,
paper
I need
every
that in
single
writing.
time.
I need that in writing. Here's my thing too. Like, does the player have a right to be upset that they aren't getting what they said they were promised? Yes. Like, I would be upset as well, kind of
Absolutely.
like you were saying. But for one, at a school like UNLV, and I imagine they're able to generate some solid NIL money in Las Vegas. But
I'd hope.
this is something I was talking about the other day when this first came out was I think what we need to remember and what players and recruits need to remember is a vast majority of college athletes are not getting any NIL money.
No.
Like, you know, like even these small D1s, mid-major D1s, they're having a hard time raising enough NIL money to, you know, for it to go around the roster. They might be able to raise some to get some top recruits or whatever, but if you think you're going, you know, you're getting a college roster spot and there's going to be some for sure NIL money there, you got to think again, you know, because these people that are providing the NIL money aren't just going to, um, they're paying for marketability basically. And so, like, if you're not a marketable athlete that's going to bring in some revenue for them or some notoriety for them, you're not going to see that NIL money. And I think
Mm-hmm.
ultimately, like, it's sending the message of like these college athletes are owed NIL money when it's like, I feel like that's a privilege to be able to get some NIL money.
Mm-hmm. No, it's to me, it's just made up to seem like they almost it seems in a way that he won a couple games, got the team ranked, and they stormed in and said, "Hey, I need this money." But I don't know. I mean, I just seen a thing that I want to listen to at some point where his agent actually is on Sirius XM Sports. It's a minute 57 clip. All the clips or the quote thing out here says is Coach Barry Odom told me $3K a month, take it or leave it. I mean, to me, this is just a lot of he said, she said, he said, she said stuff.
Hmm.
Oh, he said that. No, he
Absolutely.
said that.
I
We're not.
agree.
You're not gonna win this argument. To me, you're not gonna
And
win.
yeah, and like you said, when it's not in writing, you can't hold anybody to anything unless it's in a text message or an email. But if it's just verbally said, like you can't corroborate that. So to me, it's like, man, you're giving up your year of eligibility and honestly a good year, which I'm guessing he's on full scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
You're giving up a solid season with your UNLV team when it's not promised that you'll get anywhere, that you'll get some NIL money anyway. Because here's the thing. It's kind of like I quoted that tweet or the other day when I saw the breakdown of percentages for like people that hit the transfer portal and didn't find a home. Like it was a lot of players that hit the portal that didn't find a place.
Yeah.
And so there's that side of it that the grass ain't always greener, but two, did you look at the this quarterback's stats? Did you look at his stat line?
Average.
Yeah, especially like
I was.
his throwing numbers, like his passing numbers kind of across the board were very subpar, especially like his completion percentage. I think it was like under 50%. And so,
48%, I think.
yeah, and so yeah, you can run it and you were 3-0 with UNLV, but I feel like in today's world of football, if you're a quarterback, you got to be able to sling that thing at least a little bit
Damn,
at a higher clip than
he's
that.
not even on. Damn, they did work quick. He's not even on the ESPN roster anymore.
Oh,
Dang.
really? Removed
Yeah, no.
everybody.
Going back to that one thing. It says the final numbers of the 2024 NCAA college basketball transfer portal. D1 22% uncommitted, D2 61. That's so sad.
Mm-hmm.
61 uncommitted D2 guys because they thought different, or someone was probably telling them different, or they didn't, but they were mad because they had to work hard. Like that sucks.
Here, I'm gonna
Total
say one thing
35%
though.
uncommitted.
I'm gonna say one thing though, like about the D2 one, or like kind of just transfers in general, is some of those numbers might be kids getting basically cut. You and I know both know how it goes on a college
Yeah, that's
staff.
true.
Like
That's true.
there's
That's true.
sometimes that as a staff you decide like, hey, this guy we gave him a full scholarship. It's not working out and it's not a good fit. So you kind of push him into the portal, which is better, ends up being probably better for both sides. But so that might be some of it, but 65% at the D2 level, I would be willing to bet a very large chunk of that is kids that were ill advised of like, oh, you should hit the transfer portal because you can go here, and then it doesn't end up working out.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, I'm not trying to like, I wasn't bagging on them. It's just,
No,
I
no, I
wish there
know.
was a way that we could. I wish there was a way we could educate them in a way to say, hey, the odds are highly, highly stacked against you if you want to
Yeah,
transfer. D2 or D1, obviously not. I mean, everyone's looking for. That's a different game. To me, that is a much different. Yes, there's talent at the D2 level. Don't get me wrong at all, at all. There's a lot of talent, but the athleticism at the D1 level and the size is much different. Much different. Um, D1, it was 1,595 plus committed out of 2,300 or 2,035. D2 was 395 of 1,020 were committed. So, like you said, 35% of college basketball transfers are left without a new home. Grass ain't greener
yeah,
on
and
the other side, folks.
I think that's um, it's just a testament of like, yes, if you feel the need to utilize your ability to transfer in this day and age in college sports, do that, especially if it's well thought out and kind of there's a plan in place once that does happen. But I guess the advice I would give is don't jump the gun on it. Like you got to make sure it's the right move for one and that you have a place to land afterwards. But also, is it just a matter of like, I just need to put in more time with this program? Like, they have plans for me. It might not be the situation I want it to be right now, but do I need to stick it out? Because a lot of times I think um, it just takes a little more time than maybe anticipated or expected.
Mm-hmm. Um, Going back to Buddy's stats this year, he's not a terrible quarterback. If you look at his, because his sophomore or his junior year, he tossed 26 touchdowns and 4 interceptions for 2,491 yards, which isn't bad. But this year, dude, 7 of 18 for 86 yards, 6 of 13 for 71 yards, and then 8 of 17 for 161 against Dixie or Utah Tech.
Mm.
6 touchdowns, 1 interception. I mean, very average.
Yeah, which
That's
I
so
mean,
average. He's a
I
running
would
quarterback
say,
for sure. He's
yeah,
definitely a
exactly.
running
Like
quarterback.
like he's I'm trying to think of one of those running quarterbacks kind of back in the day when we were in junior high and high school where they were just like straight running threats. A little bit of like a Tim Tebow ish, where he could throw it, but the most damage he's going to do is with his legs. Obviously not
Mm-hmm.
that level where he's winning Heisman's and national championships, but that comes to mind a little bit of because I feel like there was a while there where there was a lot of quarterbacks in the NFL and in college football that were really just more running threats than anything else. Do you see that pick?
Dude, I can't stand it because the Cowboys every year, they're in the worst goddamn division. They're playing against the worst quarterback in the world. But yet
It was a free
They win
play
their
though. It was
division and they
Daniel
win their
Jones.
division, and everyone thinks, oh, they're so good. No, they're not. They're just playing terrible ass teams. I get a lucky ass Daniel Jones. How do you not
Daniel
make
just
that
threw a
throw, dude?
horrible pick. Yeah, like
Dude, he missed that by.
he had
That's a
so much
touchdown.
separation.
Oh, it's a touchdown.
Man.
Giants fans, I'm sorry. I feel bad for you guys.
Yeah, man. Giants fans go through it. I feel like Giants fans are up there with kind of Jets fans, maybe Jacksonville.
Oh,
I don't know,
oh.
some of those other teams that are just perennially terrible.
Mm-hmm. The Carolina Panthers.
There you go. They got the
Jacksonville
win
Jaguars.
last week,
I think you
though.
said that.
Yeah, I said
Yeah,
Jacksonville.
veteran quarterbacks, dude. I'll tell you what. Veteran quarterbacks will do a lot for you in this league. Put a veteran QB in this offense, they'll win a couple games.
Which is what we
$100.
just said, dude. Like some of these quarterbacks, here's the thing. Some of these quarterbacks, like Sam Darnold, um, Andy Dalton, like
Ooh.
they kind of started to look like they were going to be backups
Mm-hmm.
and just put their time in as a backup, learned the NFL a little bit, and now they're winning games in the NFL. It's kind of wild.
Veterans, man, you gotta love it. You know, it's okay to sit your rookie quarterback like Atlanta's doing with Michael Penix, who was
Hmm.
a very, 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 very good college quarterback. If I'm not mistaken, he won the Heisman last year. So
He did.
did he? He did.
I think
So it's
so.
like it's okay to sit him. You got Kirk Cousins. I mean, he's not great, but Kirk Cousins is gonna win you some games off experience. Oh
Oh
boy,
no.
that's got to be a touchdown, my son. That's got a flag. Jesus Christ, that's got to be a tutty, Danny. Um, did you see? Have you been paying attention to the Mountain West thing? No, a whole lot.
Oh no, no. Jaden Daniels won the Heisman.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Penix
Jaden
finished
Daniels
second.
did win the. That's right. Jaden Daniels won the Heisman. Excuse me
Would you,
for
you're
I have
good.
misspoken.
Would you ask me?
If you had seen if you had if you've been following the Mountain West Pac-12 drama.
Just all the teams trading and whatever,
Mm-hmm.
like trading spots, basically. I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
I've
I
kept
mean,
track of it a little bit, but
essentially we got
I don't know
poached.
what's exactly going on.
So like we signed an agreement with obviously the Pac-12 two teams last year, Oregon State, good God, Oregon State and Washington State, to give them games from our conference, and we made them sign put in deals and fees and all this stuff in place so they couldn't poach us because everyone knew that that's what their goal was, is to try and rebuild the conference. And we were so that's when we lost those three teams, however, four teams.
Yeah,
And
Boise
so
State and San Diego
the
State.
conference is the Pac-12 has to pay an exit fee, or is paying the exit fee or poaching fees for taking on our teams. Well, they were also going to hit up the American Conference and try and get some teams out of
Hmm.
them, like Memphis and stuff. That conference said no, we're not. No one's leaving that us. Like they're staying with
Hmm.
us. So that kind of backfired on the Pac-12. So they tried to obviously get all of our teams again and whatnot. So they just got Utah State, and then we signed all our remaining 7 teams. But the funny part is they filed that lawsuit. The Pac-12 filed the lawsuit, and the Mountain West commissioner comes out and says, I mean, don't know what they're trying to sue us for, because everything that they're trying to sue for, they signed on paper.
Hmm.
Remember our last conversation? They signed a
On
contract on
paper.
paper to that basically said all this stuff's legal. You guys agreed to it legally, and this is the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of funny because, in my opinion, I don't think the Pac-12 saw this coming. I don't think they saw it being this hard. I think they thought, oh, our name is going to buy us everything. Well, everyone knows that the Pac-12 isn't going to be a Power 5 school, a Power 5 conference anymore. It's a Group 5 conference, Group of 5. It's essentially the Mountain West. So I think it's funny. I think the lawsuit's stupid because they're going to lose that. No way they can win that.
Well, it's hard to it's hard to gain that traction back when they've lost all their best schools to the Big Ten and the ACC and whoever else. Like, we
Mm-hmm.
talked about this a little bit already of like the fact that these California and West Coast teams are flying or whatever 4 or 5 times a season to go play teams on the Atlantic coast. Like, it's just such a different world than what we've been used to. And it just seems like the conference thing is just going to go away, I feel like.
It's going to be Power 5 schools, Power 5 conference or league, and then it's going to be everything else. It's going to
Hmm.
be a Group 5 league, and then I don't know. I agree with you though. I think that'll
Which do you
be
think
kind of what
like
it is.
do you think like if it does go to that where it's kind of just all of the Power 5 schools, whatever whoever those are, we know who a lot of them are, but like do you think they'll still compete with kind of that next tier, or do you think they'll just break away and be like, screw you guys, we're gonna just play ourselves all the time?
No, I think they'll just do that. I bet you they just play themselves. I bet you it turns into something like that with just money. I don't know. Who knows? I mean, it's just a matter of if these smaller conferences and smaller schools can bring stuff to the table and bring marketability to the table. Can they bring, can they promote themselves? Can they bring money? At the end of the day, can they
Hmm.
bring money? It's really not about anything else but money. Oh my lord, I was gonna say something.
I
I
want to
forgot.
check. I put on our Instagram post. Oh, you know how you can do those polls on Instagram?
Oh, you pulled it?
No, no one voted on our polls. Gosh dang it.
What?
Well, your guys' is lost because it was cool, all right?
Oh, you did pull it. Oh, I didn't even realize that was hard to see.
See that? Yeah,
Oh,
you can't really tell.
well, I know who the rookie of the year is because it was deserved.
Caitlin Clark
Okay,
won it, didn't she?
can I just rant real quick? Whoever voted and gave Angel Reese a fourth place MVP vote, respectfully stop watching basketball.
Respectfully.
Respectfully, with all due respect, please retire from the game of ball.
Mm.
And that'll ruffle some feathers. I don't care. Because you
Dude,
can't tell
there's
me that she is one of the most valuable players in the NBA when her team
no,
isn't even in the playoff race. No,
no,
sorry.
not even
No.
close. Um, there's stuff like that every year that happens with those, like, I feel like it's with all the Associated Press voters that they have like an allegiance to a particular team, and they'll just basically throw a vote on someone that has no business receiving that vote because that's the best player that they think, and it's on their favorite team. Because
Either general man.
I saw there was a breakdown of like, I can't remember where I saw this. It was Twitter or something, of like wild votes that were received in particular categories in the NBA, and it was always linked to like a writer or a GM or something like that voting for their favorite player on their team.
Yep. I think the players union should vote. I
Yeah,
believe
I
if
think it should be a player voted.
the players union or the head
Coaches.
coaches.
Yeah,
Head coaches. Because the head
I
coaches aren't
agree.
going to be as biased in my opinion.
Yeah, maybe. I don't
Cuz
know.
what I mean, I'd rather trust the coaches poll on ESPN rather than the AP poll. AP poll be
Yeah, I agree.
stupid as hell.
Yeah. They I feel like the associate and like here's my question. Why is the Associated Press the official decider of the top 25 in college athletics?
Probably
Why
money.
is that a thing? That just blows my
Money.
mind.
I don't know. I really don't know. That's a great question.
Like, who gave them that authority? Why did we do that?
Whoever gave him that authority needs to be fired
It needs to be
if they're still
punished.
alive.
Oh, CD.
Oh my
Dak,
god,
that's
dude.
why you throw CD Lamb the ball. That's why you do it. CD Lamb was mad last week because Dak
I
didn't feel
hate the
like throwing him the
Cowboys.
ball. And now look what happens when you throw CD Lamb the ball. He's the best receiver in the game, arguably.
No. No.
I hope you know CD Lamb leads like many, many categories in receiving in the past few years in the NFL. Just so you know, just so you're aware.
Well, it's really
And I'm not
simple, especially with the Cowboys. Just, dink, don't. Just
I'm
a
not
couple
even a
big plays.
Cowboys fan. I don't even like the Cowboys. But when you got a player like him, throw him the gosh dang ball.
I
Look at
hate
that.
the
Nice and
Cowboys so
simple.
much. I hate the Cowboys more than I hate Bama football. Speaking of
You
which,
hate Bama.
Georgia Bama this weekend. That's going to be awesome. Week
That's
4 of
gonna be
college football
fun,
season.
dude.
You got Georgia Bama. What's the
That's
ranking
gonna
for
be a
that
fun
game?
time. I think it's
Four,
2-4.
2
Yeah.
at 4. Oh my god! Let me pull up the greatest weekend of college football. It is going to be. Is it this one? Oh, this is the greatest day of college football. Okay, just hear me out. So we got number 3 Ohio State at number 8 Oregon. We're gonna have Florida at number 5 Tennessee. That's gonna, Florida can maybe be all right. Number 6 Ole Miss
No.
at number 14
Florida
LSU
hold on, I'm gonna stop you right
is
there.
booty.
Florida is gonna get 30-pieced by Tennessee.
Tennessee is really good.
Yeah, they're nice.
Um, Number 9 Penn State at 13 USC.
Ooh.
Ooh, that'll be prime time just because of the team. It's number 23 Kansas State at Colorado. Not
Who are
terrible.
the who are the Cowpokes gonna lose to this week? Air Force?
Oh, hold on. I'm still
I
going through
think it's
this
Air
one. Oh,
Force.
this coming weekend?
Yeah, the Cowboys play Air Force, I believe.
I'm talking about this will be October. This day that I'm talking about is October 12th.
Oh, so next weekend.
Mm-hmm. Because then you got Texas at number 1 Texas at Oklahoma. My God, that's a beautiful day. That's a beautiful slate. Yeah, we got Air Force at home, 6 p.m.
I'm gonna
That's
plant my
crazy.
behind on the couch and watch just about every one of those games.
Oh, I'm gonna plant my behind on the couch again while we play Air Force and watch just a struggle fest. Man, I hope we can. Let's win
I'm gonna
one,
ask
boys.
you this,
Let's win
dude.
one.
So I saw that Jay Saville guy, our head coach for the Cowboys, he signed like a 5-year deal to start his contract. How many seasons do you think he makes it? Do you think he makes it through his first season in that contract before he gets fired?
If we go winless,
He's getting fired.
Laramie
Come on,
will
man.
burn. Laramie will
Yeah,
burn.
yeah. I won't have a hometown anymore, dude.
Like we have to beat Colorado State. If we won one game and beat Colorado State, I think we'd be okay. I think he'd survive.
No, I think he would still get. I think because CSU ain't that
Really?
good either.
Yeah.
I think we would
Boy,
the town would
I
would
just
be in a riot.
the town is close to being in a riot. Good lord.
But
Dude,
I guess the thing for
the
me
Boo
is,
Birds were coming out against
I know
BYU and
early.
Idaho. The first home
Yeah.
game, the Boo Birds were coming out.
Well, when you're putting up 7 points a game or whatever it was that they were putting up, it's hard to cheer for a team like that.
Hmm. What were you gonna say? You were on a rant before I rudely interrupted you.
Yeah, man, why would you do that?
I don't know.
I can't remember what I was gonna say. What were we talking about? I can't remember.
Talking about Wyoming, I think. Dude, we are, if you go to ESPN and you go to stats for football, we are last. Or not last. There's Kent State, New Mexico State, then there's Wyoming Cowboys.
Hmm.
Let's put this into perspective for you. Can I put this into perspective for you? Kennesaw
By all
State,
means.
who is a brand new Division 1 team, is higher than us. But hey, we're in for a barn burner on Saturday because right above Kennesaw State is the Air Force Falcons.
Yeah, I know. I saw the Mountain West had like 3 or 4 teams in the bottom 25
Dude,
that
not
college
not a good
football
showing
put
for the
out.
Mountain West.
Yeah, that's
Um,
tough, dude.
we averaged 212 yards per game, 500 or 129 passing yards a game, 82 rushing yards a game, a measly 12.8 points per game. My God.
Yeah, dude, we're not even putting the ball in the end zone twice per game.
But you know what I will say?
What?
I am excited for some Cowboy basketball.
Absolutely.
That's what I am really excited for.
Let's go Pokes, baby. It is going to be very fun to
In
watch that, man.
Sundance,
Like
we trust.
he'll get it rocking in there in the old Dome of Doom.
Oh, it's gonna be the Dome of Doom again.
Um, quick question. Do you remember when the Cowgirls won the at WNIT in like
Against
2008 or
Wisconsin, I was
2007?
in attendance.
So
I
was I,
watched that
dude.
game in
I was
person
just about to
because there was
ask
a
you, did you
tournament. There was a youth
I
tournament
feel
that
like
weekend.
I feel like that's yeah, there was. I feel like that's where it became the Dome of Doom. Because
Before that,
I distinctly remember the announcer like coined the phrase Dome of Doom during that WNIT run,
I
if I'm not mistaken.
think it's
Also, Bush, this is another little tangent, but it just made me think of this. Did you play on either the Gillette Grizzlies or the Gillette Hustle growing up?
Gillette Lightning. I hated both teams with passion. They're older than us. They were the Hustle, dude.
That's right.
Okay, the
They were
Hustle
my
was
grade. They were
nice.
our
The
rivals,
Hustle
dude.
was
The Hustle was
nice.
good. The Hustle was
There
good.
was
Woo, they were good.
Jake Bratton. Remember Jake Bratton? What's
Hmm.
crazy about him? He played at Natrona. He went to Natrona. He ended up at Natrona.
Oh, did
Little
he?
guard for he
Hmm.
played when he was there when you were there. You might not
I don't
remember him
remember
though. But
him.
like the thing about him is like, and no offense to him, but like because you see this all the time. Like the hustle had a lot of kids that peaked quick, and so they
Yeah, they
dominated
were really
kids.
good really early.
But they held that peak for a long, like a good amount of time, because Weston played on the hustle. Um, Jacoby Johnson played on the hustle. He didn't end up playing varsity ball. He quit after his junior year, but there was some dudes on that team. The Grizz, we ended up beating them one time because we were a grade younger than them. Hustle would always we could keep it kind of close with the hustle, but they ended up they would whoop our ass every time, like just whoop it.
I
The
remember
Grizz
we would
beat us
just have
bad a couple times, and we beat them once.
we'd have bloodbaths with the Grizzly, but we could never beat the Hustle. They were super good.
Oh yeah, um, we ran into the hustle. Dude, the hustle was cool. I love their jerseys. Those gold and purple jerseys.
Weren't they purple? Yeah.
They're so clean.
And the
But no,
Grizzlies were like
that's
green and black or something like that, or green and white and black.
yep, yep. I liked no, I remember that because we played like a game and then we had to go. Then we went to the game. Uh
Hmm.
and they played Wisconsin and they handled Wisconsin pretty good. That was fun.
They did.
That was cool. That was a cool setting. Like that was one of the best settings I've been in for basketball.
I hadn't seen the double A rocking like that since like Dante Richardson and Josh Davis and Marcus Bailey and those teams that went to the NCAA
Hmm.
tournament. Like
My
there was
dad
a
said that
big
it
drought
was
there. There was a big drought in Wyoming basketball there for about 5, 6 years.
my dad said when he was in school it would go crazy for big games. It's nuts because they need to have they need to do something, and I think Sundance will do it, but they need to get better student engagement at basketball games because they
Well, I
show out for the
think,
football games.
but I think they did like they had back when like even with Larry Nance and Josh Adams and all them, they had great crowds with those teams. So like I think it's just with any program, if you show promise and you show you're going to compete and win some games, they'll show up for you.
Hmm. Yeah,
But
and
Laramie's, I mean, you know this, dude.
it's a
Laramie's
product of
Laramie
location.
isn't exactly. Laramie isn't it's not um Durham, North Carolina or whatever, or you know, whatever these places are that they pack out the stadium or the arena every single game. Like that's just not doable in Laramie, especially with the size of the arena. Like, that's a
Yeah, I was gonna say if we had a
15,000.
smaller,
Yeah,
I think it's bigger than it's big.
it's about
If it was a little bit
15.
smaller, pack out, but who knows? I mean, I think if it was in Cat even if it was in Casper, I don't know if it'd be easier to get to games for people up north because it's more set. It'd be more center located. Which side note, they need to start doing that again, bringing a game back to Casper. That was good. That's something that was cool. I remember when they brought Wichita State up. They
They
lost by
used
like
to do it in
14 or something
Sheridan
like
too.
that, but I think that was cool. But
They
I
used
don't
to
know.
bring that. They used to play a game up in Sheridan, and I don't know if they did it in Gillette as well, but would play up at Sheridan College for a game. I think it was an exhibition though. Like they would always play like MSUB or something like that. But yeah, they
Those
got
are
to get
always
the whole
fun.
state involved.
It's just tough. It's tough. I mean, I know that's what Linder's biggest complaint was, but I mean, man, it's still hard to get a lot of people to come out on a Wednesday night game in Laramie. I'm sorry, but
Yeah,
Laramie's small.
exactly. It
Students got to
is.
show out to those games. But nevertheless, I still think that the attendance will rise. The attendance will be up this year at the beginning of the year. There's a lot of hype around Sundance. Just with he has
Sundance
the
will bring the
greatest
juice,
turnaround. He has
man.
the greatest turnaround. He has the greatest turnaround in Division I basketball history.
Mm-hmm. Is it
Took
the
a team
greatest
from
or is it
literally.
one of them?
I mean, they were last place. They were last place,
Because I know he
and they
was.
were. It's one of the greatest, I would say. I don't
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
maybe not the greatest, but one of, because single season turnarounds. Because I think they
Let's
won like
look
one
here.
game.
Reddit always does the job.
It went 3-29 the year before he got there.
Mm-hmm.
2-18. Oh Jesus, 2-18 in conference. Last year they finished 18-14, 13-7 in conference. So.
Mm. Yeah, man, he's gonna get Laramie rocking. I know he will.
Mm-hmm. But no, that's all I got. That's all I have.
Absolutely. Let's watch this
Keep it a
football
short
game,
one.
man.
My stomach is grumbling. I'm hungry.
You got boo boo guts or something or what?
No, I'm hungry. I haven't eaten dinner yet.
You got bubble guts?
No bubble guts. Bubble
Wish
guts
better
means
check his
gassy.
undies.
Bubble guts means you're gassy. I'm not gassy. I'm just hungry. Still
Whatever you
hungry.
say, man. Whatever you
All
say.
right,
I
y'all.
know you're nasty, man.
Episode 48. Just tune this guy out. Don't believe anything he says. This guy took 10,
49.
10,
Episode
15,
49.
20 minutes to get ready to go jump in lake water. Had to wash his face to go jump in lake water. So,
I gotta exfoliate. I've
you
told you
know,
this already, dude. Exfoliation
but
is key.
just okay. All right, y'all.
All right. Peace.
Stop. Stop. He's stopping. Stopped. All right. My computer's almost dead too.
Mine's still going.
So it is?
Mine's still recording. The
What?
timer's still running. We're still on air. Live on air.
That is crazy.
It's not working?
Why is it not stopping? What's going on? I think it should be still good. Change in their device. What the fuck does that mean? Learn more.
Can't hear you anymore. Stop. Stop not being.
Yo. Let's go. I'm just gonna leave the studio
I
and
can't
then
hear what you're
hopefully
saying. What the heck?
second.
Hello. 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 Oh man, Dallas is putting it on him. Did Daniel Jones throw a pick again? Wasn't watching. Can't hear you, brother. Oh shoot.